On this episode, we talk about the benefits of playing high school soccer, why do kids keep getting hurt in high school, and Mickey Mouse for Christmas. What's up, everybody? My name is Ray Sanders, and this is episode number 6 of Coach Knows Best. So, we just finished up with, we haven't done an episode in a while, Caesar.
Nope.
And I got to be honest, I actually blame you.
Well, you were sick.
You've been slacking.
You were sick.
You haven't been coming into the office.
I was here both weeks.
That's true. So I've been really sick. I'm just barely getting over it. We had the Christmas holiday. I went to Disneyland for 4 days. We got Reagan and Sophia in the house today. They're checking out Coach Knows Best. We went to Disneyland for 4 days with 6 children. It was absolutely nuts. That's probably where I got sick. So, but anyways, so we're back at it. I'm excited for 2018, right? Super pumped up. I'm not really big into New Year's resolutions and all of that, but it's just kind of natural. The start of the new year, you get to start fresh. So I'm pumped up about that, and it's going to be a great year. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, that Santa Claus brought them everything that they wanted. Sophie, do we believe in Santa Claus? No, we do not. So, what else? Today's episode is going to be on nothing but high school soccer. I've had a lot of texts or emails about some high school stuff that's been going on. So I was like, dude, we're going to have the whole episode about high school soccer. It's pretty good. And that's pretty much it. So, Caesar, let's rock and roll.
What are the benefits of playing high school soccer?
So, what are the benefits of playing high school soccer? Honestly, look at this year and the rest of these episodes moving forward, I really just want to be more straightforward. Oh, geez. But no, you're good. So I really just want to be more straightforward and honest with people and just straight to the point without sugarcoating anything. My honest opinion of what the benefits are of high school is essentially zero. For 99% of the players that are out there, there are no benefits to playing high school soccer. I think that it's one of the characteristics, one of the things, one of the elements in the United States that actually hurts the United States versus helping them. There's so many different articles and different things that you can find where somebody says, well, in this one scenario, in this one circumstance, this is how it's beneficial. I'm not trying to make an argument for the anomaly. From a realistic, practical standpoint, for the majority of the players out there, there are just zero benefits. The only type of benefit that, if I'm really stretching and I can kind of analyze and say, is maybe for the freshman and sophomore who get to play with upperclassmen. There might be a benefit to those players. Additionally, there might be a benefit to someone who doesn't play competitively outside of high school and that's all that they have. There's a little bit of a benefit there because that's the most competitive soccer that they get all year. But that doesn't help the ultra competitive players that are probably bound for college. Maybe you end up being in a circumstance where you are playing with a lot of your friends that you don't play club with, so you get to play soccer with the people you go to class with. I mean, really, I just don't see any benefit from it. I see a lot of bad coaching, a lot of bad refereeing, a lot of bad fields, and a lot of injuries. And to be perfectly honest with you, no opportunity. And so I just don't see any benefit to it. Ultimately, I would rather see kids completely rest if they didn't do anything else. I'd rather just see them rest and get fully healthy. So zero benefit.
What are the chances of your kid getting hurt in high school compared to club, and why?
This is a really good question because at the end of the day, I mean, obviously somebody can actually get hurt walking down some stairs or whatever it may be, twist an ankle doing anything. So I don't think that necessarily you're guaranteed to get hurt during high school soccer and that injuries never happen during club. I think that one of the main reasons why kids get hurt in high school soccer is because of the lack of management from a coach combined with the quantity of games that are going on. So you're playing almost back-to-back games. You're playing 2 games within 3 days that are 40 minutes, I think it is, 45 minutes long, 40 minutes long per half. And so here it is that you're playing games 2 days apart. You're one of the best players on the team. You hurt your ankle. The next game is the most important game in the entire world. A coach who doesn't care and doesn't have a lot of experience ultimately puts that player in and plays them anyways with complete disregard to club, because that's not what it is that they coach. the complete disregard to the player's body because the player said that they were fine to play, and this game against this next team or whatever it may be, school, is the most important game for first place. I swear, every high school game is like the most important game. I hear this from kids and coaches all the time. It's like, oh, we've got to win this one, because if we don't win this one, then the next 17 games are must-win situations. So anyway, so I just think at the end of the day, that's probably the number one reason why kids get hurt. Injuries happen all the time, but the coach's inability to manage a player and their lack of perspective of what it is that they have throughout the whole entire season is usually what results in kids continuing to get hurt and just remaining hurt. The best players, the amount of times that I've had kids go away to high school with a lingering injury and come back with that same injury that they should be healed by now, they come back with that same injury and it's 10 times worse, is abundant. It happens nearly every single year. I will give a quick shout out to a guy, coaches for Stockdale girls. His name is Matt Doyle. He's done a really, really good job, to be perfectly honest with you, of managing injuries. We had a girl that wasn't able to play with us through the end of the the end of the club season, and she has literally not played hardly at all, or if at all, this entire time. And he probably could have manipulated the situation, encouraged her to go and play, but she didn't. And so, or he hasn't, and so she hasn't really played. And I think that he has her best interest in mind, whereas, and I believe that the majority of the high school coaches out there, they end up looking at something as far as their best interest, and not even their best interest overall. It's their best interest on Tuesday, their best interest on Friday. And so you combine that with some other elements, man. You combine it with the recreational players or whatever it may be, or the recreational coaches that are coaching players poorly. So some guy who's trying to supplement his income that teaches at the school, and he's yelling at players, get stuck and silly or foolish. And now people are getting hurt because of reckless tackles. You have referees that are doing a duel or aren't very good, so they're not managing the situations very well. So injuries happen, and then a chippiness begins to happen because fouls that aren't being called. You again, even the muddy surfaces that they play on and slipping all over the place. You just begin to look at all these elements: the quantity of games, the bad coaching, the bad referees, the bad fields. I mean, you look at all of these things, and this adds up to injuries almost every single time. This is something that you will not usually find in club. I'm spitting all over the place. As bad as the referees are in club, you still are going to find it where a referee can keep control, coaches that are able to keep control of their players, and on and on and on it goes. So it's just something that you don't end up finding in club as often as you do in high school.
Does high school soccer play any role into getting into college for soccer?
I promise you, soon enough, we're going to end up doing an episode that just talks about college recruiting. We're going to end up just addressing these issues. But here's the reality, is that the answer is basically no. It goes back to the first one. It's 99% no. There's exceptions to the rules. Those are anomalies. Those are not. Those are exceptions. Those are not the rule. At the end of the day, the reality is that there is just no opportunity for high school recruitment, for college recruitment through high school. Maybe to junior colleges, because they'll go out and look in their local communities for some players. Maybe there will be, at the best, a player that was already getting recruited that'll get followed up at a high school game. But that's realistically at the best. I heard this story a long time ago, and this is one of my favorite stories, is that this kid set some record in some county for the most goals scored by a high school soccer player, the most points, I think, between goals and assists. And he makes some type of highlight video, and he sends it in to this college coach. So the college coach told somebody who told me, so I don't know about this story, but at the end of the day, the coach is looking at the video, and he says, look, and he's showing this other guy who told me the story. And so he says, look, watch this guy score all these goals. So he's showing him, and he's scoring like 3-4 goals. Like, he has this little clip of like 5 minutes, and he scores like 3 goals, right? But you have kids that are out of shape, they're chunky that he's going against. You have kids that are sliding all over the place. There's no shape, there's no structure. Then it goes to the next clip. You have kids that are like in jean shorts that are playing in their high school soccer games. There's all the different elements. So one of the big things that I have heard about college coaches, this even goes to academy and club, which we talked a little bit about, one of the big reasons why college coaches won't recruit out of high school is because of the level of competition that they're playing against. If you're playing against a donkey player and you go out and score 3, 4, 5 goals, that's not very impressive. If you can play at an academy level and you can get a goal and you can get in behind people, break a line, whatever you want to call it, now all of a sudden you're a college prospect. So college coaches have limited amount of time, especially college soccer. You're going to have a limited amount of resources financially. So when they go out and look at a player, it doesn't matter if you scored 5 goals. It doesn't matter if it's a high level quality game. The reality is that if you're a senior getting in behind sophomores and juniors, that's not that impressive. Versus obviously the senior who's getting in behind other academy players. So the bottom line is that there's zero opportunity really in high school soccer. If you look at everything holistically of what it is that we talked about today, there's very minimal benefit to high school soccer, no opportunities, tons of injuries, and the reality is that it's something that is built up in a community that is fun, and everybody likes to have their girlfriend or boyfriend come and bring them a sign or make a sign and bring it to their games. But the fact of the matter is that from an actual benefit standpoint, there isn't any. In California, a lot of people don't know this, is that in California, let's stay on topic about the opportunity aspect. In California, when you play your high school soccer during the winter, we're one of the only areas in the country that does that. A lot of the other parts of the country, they do it all in the fall, or sometimes just women, I think, in the fall, and men in the spring. So that people don't do it in the winter. But that also means that there's a lot of good college showcases that go on during the winter time. So Disney College Showcase is a tournament that goes on in December in Florida. It's a huge tournament that gets tons of college coaches. There's another one that's in January, President's Weekend, I believe it is, in Arizona. And then there's another one that's in the early part of February in Las Vegas. These are 3 of many great college showcase tournaments that are out there that are missed out by California kids because they want their girlfriend to make them a sign talking about how I love number 3 and he's for me. So in my opinion, I would love to see some of the most competitive players or teams do away with high school soccer and actually go to some of these other things if they're really dedicated to what it is that they're doing. I think that there's a place maybe for some of the more recreational players, but from a recruiting standpoint, it's going to be college showcases and college soccer camps, and it's not going to be high school soccer. All right, that's it. Episode 6 in the books. Girls, what did you guys think?
It was awesome!
All right, it was awesome. So we got their approval. Let me know, the other 7 of you guys that watch this, let me know what it is that you guys think. Obviously, today's topic, we kind of already addressed before in a previous episode, but I really wanted to address it again collectively. Is because I get some of these questions even still, and now that some of these injuries, some of the parents that I coach, some of the injuries that their kids are going through that are freshmen or sophomore and their first time going through some of these things. Some people are in good circumstances, some people are in bad circumstances, and so I just wanted to be able to address it collectively at once. We will get back into it. We're going to be consistent. I know that you 7 that watch this religiously, we will be back at it whether I'm sick or not. I'm fighting through the sickness now. I'm trying my hardest just for you. But really, if you guys have any questions, just let us know. We'll answer whatever questions you may have. Don't forget, you can email me at ray7sanders@gmail.com. That's ray7sanders, like the colonel, @gmail.com. Other than that, I appreciate you guys this time. We'll talk to you later.